Hi, Body Buds. Hello, hello, Instagram, Facebook. We are on our Mega Blitz training for Body Buddies. So I'm super excited to be here, and this is the first fitness video I've been doing during this time. So while I wait for everyone to join, I actually have a little bit wet feet. I was just walking on the grass, moving around some sprinklers. So forgive the dirty feet. Sometimes I walk in the garden with bare feet. I know that's like a no-no, but maybe that's still staying young, right? Like the child in me wants to walk in the dirt. How many of you do that? Okay, I'm gonna adjust my Facebook video for 1 sec and we will get started. This is a video, women, that if you have a girlfriend who needs to join us in this video, now would be the time to click share or to tag that friend, because this is really interesting information. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Christy Johant, and I am the author of the Power Foods Lifestyle, and actually, believe it or not, adapted the Power Foods Lifestyle for pregnancy. So if you are maybe in the pre-pregnancy stage, or maybe you're pregnant, maybe not with your first, this may be a book you want to check out. I have the digital copy available at powerfoodslifestyleblog.com. So just click on store there. So today we are covering diastasis recti. So what is this condition? You would be amazed as a personal trainer, as somebody who I work with all sorts of bodies, right? Whether it is bodybuilders, whether it is people trying to lose weight. I work in a dance studio. I work with bodies. I love the human body, and I think it's fascinating. A huge question I get is, have you ever heard of this thing called like diastasis or something, like where your abs separate? I'm like, yeah. And believe it or not, a lot of women experience this. Now, before you assume that it's just for people who have had a child, it is a condition that's caused by an internal pressure in the abdomen, which is not always pregnancy. So in rare occasions, other people can experience it too. Now, I know what you're all thinking, because many of you who are body buddies and in our big family, welcome. You know I don't have children of my own. So you might be thinking, well, how can she teach us about this? Because I know the body, and I'm here to transfer principles that you can then apply, that many people have found help them too. So trust me, I take everything I say with a grain of salt. And who knows, someday when I have a kid, I may change my tune. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, all right? So first things first, how do you know if you have diastasis recti? So I'm going to teach you how to do like a self-test at home. I know sometimes it's hard for women. They're like, to be honest, I'm not lean enough to really like be able to tell, and it's all squishy, and you know that kind of feeling. A lot of women refer to their extra skin as bread dough. How many of you have ever called your belly that or something else? You know, definitely we hear that a lot. And before we even go into that, I just want to say really quick on the emotional side, I have stood with many women who have given birth in their birthday suits, okay? I know that sounds weird, but when I was coaching bodybuilders, I mean, you kind of see everything, whatever. And there was so much beauty in seeing that post-baby body. Stretch marks, loose skin, whatever it is. So I hope each of you watching this will really like think about the emotional impact and choose to love your body. We can always train our bodies. We help our bodies evolve. But at the end of the day, that attitude of gratitude has to encompass all of our behavior, all of our actions, and that's where we're the happiest. So please keep that in mind. I'm not here to share principles of change your body, fix your body. Yes, we can help our bodies evolve, okay? And so be kind, be gentle, be compassionate to yourself in this process. Okay, so first things first, I want you to, hopefully you can hear me. I'm gonna talk kind of loud as I go through this. You're gonna lay on your back, feet on the ground, just like this, okay? And you're not gonna arch your back, and you're not gonna tuck your back like this. You're just gonna have a very neutral spine. So you're gonna take your hand and you're gonna lift your head slightly so that you can kind of feel your abdomen contract, and take your hands and you can push down in between the abs that line your stomach. So the rule of thumb is, they say it's like 2.7 centimeters. If there's that much of a gap or beyond, then that is classified as diastasis recti, or they say 2 to 3 fingers width. So kind of just push on that, you know, and just kind of feel. So I have a 1 finger gap, okay? So that's how I know I don't have it. Now, could I have it? Yeah, if I had some things going on, I don't know. So you could have it above the belly button. You could have it below the belly button, so you'll want to test both above and below. And you could have what they call full open, which is on both the top or the bottom, or they could have just slightly open, which is more around the belly button, okay? So what you have to realize with diastasis recti is that in order to help our bodies start to close that gap, it's not about do more abs. It's not about like go do leg raises and all these crazy ab exercises. You have to activate some very, very deep internal muscles. They're called the transverse abdominals, okay? So I'm going to teach you how to activate those. Now you need to be patient with yourself because it does not come very fast, especially when we haven't really engaged that mind to muscle connection often in our lives. So again, be patient with yourself and I'll talk you through this. I have some notes over here. Oh, really quick, I did want to make sure you understand a lot of different physical therapists talk about this, and I observe this a lot in the dance world, as well as just in general people like posture. But before I tell you this, I do have to make a disclaimer. I'm kind of not the ideal body to be demonstrating like proper form. Many of you know I have scoliosis, so I have a shoulder that rolls forward. My rib cage is completely twisted and over. So within me teaching you this, just keep in mind, I don't have a perfect body. Yay, who does? But you know, I do have a rib that pops out. So if something looks off, just so you know, okay? All right, so rib thrusting, I'll turn this way, okay, is where your ribs are coming out over. If you were to like make a line from your ribs down, they are in front of those hip bones. So we want that rib cage to come back, which means we have to flatten our back. Now what happens when most people do that, look at how my head kind of came forward, okay? So over time, we're trying to train that upper back to pull back while the ribs are completely over this shelf, okay? And that's gonna be more proper form, how to hold that core. How many of you kind of, you know, stand like this, and then all of these muscles just go lax rather than pulling up and in just for a nice held position, okay? Because those muscles, while you've been pregnant, have completely relaxed. So I will talk about binders, so hang with me, I'll talk about them in a minute. So, and feel free to ask questions along the way. I will come back after and come up and look at them. So, all right. So like I said, isolation abs, so things like, this isn't gonna fix it, guys, okay? Like, this is not gonna fix it. We have to kind of go into our brains and activate these muscles, okay? So again, push your feet down, and I want you to just kind of like exhale. And I want you to think about and picture your hip bones drawing in closer towards your ribs. You're gonna breathe all your air out. Let's try it again. And I like to put my hands here to make sure I'm engaging it, okay? So it's what we call drawing in. It's not sucking in, it's a drawing in. So it's coming in and up, and it's a tight. It should feel very tight down here, okay? So try that with me, because that is the fundamental part to every exercise I'm gonna show you, is that drawing in. So kind of getting your breath up and held up higher. So just really think about that engagement. You can kind of test it by just lifting a leg gently off the ground. You will know you're activating them if you actually find this very difficult, because you're like, how am I supposed to lift that? You're not using your hip flexor, you're using those transverse abdominals, okay? So the first exercise I'm gonna show you is just gonna be leg slides. So keeping this engaged, again, not rib thrusting, you wanna keep this down. You're gonna just make sure those are engaged, so draw in, making that nice and flat, and you're gonna just push one heel out, and I should scoot this way. I'm too tall. Okay, so coming all the way out,